Oh, hello. Welcome to another Office Hours. Capsule. That's right. Capsule. This is a small segment of my Office Hours live stream that I do live at twitch.tv/theastroPub, youtube.com/theastropublive on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Come join us live, like Chat here, who's going to tell you this is live and lie and say this is pre-recorded. And join the discussions. We talk about a lot of different things, Star Citizen related, news, lore, and more. And you can watch the full VOD, which I'll put up here right there if you want to watch all 7 hours or however long this is. But without any further ado, let's get started on the big news for this week, the roadmap roundup from this last Wednesday from April 17th, 2024. All right. Get this a little bit bigger. All right, this is always part of this. It's just kind of like, hey, this is what this is for. So, notable changes for April 17th, 2024. Release view. As part of our final review process, we've concluded that the quality of the cargo features that were targeted for the launch of Alpha 3.23 are not yet at the stage where we need them to be for a release to live servers. The freight elevators and instance hangars in particular are technologically complex features that will require a bit more work before we feel fully integrating them into the game. This additional time allows the team to test for additional edge cases and include further refinements, which is especially important for features as impactful as these. However, we're not currently planning on shifting them back a full patch cycle. The features below will remain in the 3.23 column on release view, but are now targeting a 3.23.x release. Item banks, personal and instance hangars, new missions, cargo hauling, and freight elevators. All right, so this was probably the big one. I will say, I do want to talk about this because I did make a statement, and a lot of people thought I was being a little bit chicken little with this one. And I don't want to like sound too salty with this because I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I do want to set up some expectations for this because what this means is that those things, item banks, personal and instance hangars, new missions, cargo hauling, and the freight elevators are not going to be in the initial release of 3.23. Now, I've been roasted for saying this, but I will stick to it because I do believe that's the case. 3.23 almost certainly is going to come out sometime at the end of April or early May, because 3.23.1 has already sort of had its soft confirmation with modularity and the Retaliator, because Invictus launch week, which is at the end of May, is almost certainly going to have the Retaliator and modularity as part of its release features. Retaliator is a classic, and I mean very, very classic military ship. It is important for Squadron 42, and it has been in the lore of Star Citizen, and in like the universe of Star Citizen, it is a very old ship. It's the B-52 of the Star Citizen universe. It's the buff of 42. And so that's almost certainly why it was added the way it was, and that's the plan. And they typically do release a big patch before, say, Invictus or IAE, and then they take a couple of weeks to kind of release a smaller .x patch to work out some of the problems, some of the issues, and patch in the new content for Invictus, and for this one it's going to be Defense Con. And people have told me that Defense Con and Invictus stuff are up, but it's still the old stuff. The signs are from last year, not from this current year. So, which is kind of weird. I've never seen that before. So I don't know why that is the case. Now, all of that being said, that means that I would doubt that we're going to see these features in 3.23.1 because CIG is very gun shy about adding stuff that even to their own self, their own admittance is really fundamental and can cause probably a lot of problems. They probably need a lot of testing to get these features in. And if it's not coming in 3.23.1, then it has to come in 3.232, which they could put into Evocati, as soon as they release it, the IAE patch, or IAE, I'm sorry, Invictus patch. And so Invictus comes out, probably have a Evocati testing of 3.2, and when Invictus is done, they probably release 3.232 into wider testing, probably give it 3 to 4 weeks, which means that at the earliest I would expect some of these features is July of this year. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong for this one, but it's important to keep that in mind, that I am really looking forward to these features, and them being pulled it hits hard, because a lot of these are in my opinion, the real core of new gameplay and kind of fundamental change of how the game plays compared to what we have now. So I'm sad about it, but it's going to be 2 months, too much change. There are some other conversations to be had about this, like how might this impact 4.0, because it almost certainly will. How will this impact CitizenCon and other things? Because, these sorts of things have downstream effects if they're not fully in. I have talked with at least one person at CIG who said this will not affect 4.0 whatsoever, but I don't believe them. Not that I don't think they're trustworthy, or that they're not honest about it. I don't think they're sitting there going, "Oh, we can't let them know." But I think they're being over optimistic about that. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, it does better. Let's find out what has been confirmed, though. The following features have been added to the release view targeting 3.23 release. Vulkan graphics API support, wider simulation, and rendering improvements. That's big. The Vulkan stuff is going to be huge. They've even said that this is the first version is not going to be complete, so it's not the full version of the Vulkan API, but they will add it probably the next patch, maybe even 3.2 kind of stuff. They might add the full support, but this should improve your performance dramatically, especially on lower end PCs, or improve your overall gameplay if you can support it. There are still some bugs and some issues, but that's a big deal. And of course, the water simulation is cool. Vulkan graphics API support is converting the Star Citizen renderer from DirectX 11 to the Vulkan graphics API. This allows spreading GPU submission work over many CPU cores and enables many new tech features that were previously unable, such as ray tracing. Vulkan is able to be operated via the options menu with this release, but it will eventually fully replace DirectX 11 in the future. And then water simulation and rendering improvements. The water in Star Citizen now supports a multi-scale GPU wave simulation to support dynamic reaction to thrusters, aerodynamic wake, explosions, and collisions. The rendering has also been overhauled, with improved waves, reflections, refraction, underwater fog, and helmet effects. And then the following have been moved toggle their status to committed. Mobiglass rework. Reworking the Mobiglass system to use building blocks, which have also allowed for easier development of Mobiglass apps. This update includes reworked home, maps, contract manager, and journal apps. This is important because it's the foundation for new apps, which they'll probably add to the Mobiglass down the line, which will improve our overall experience and add more stuff to do, which is very cool. FPS loot screen, introducing a new screen for looting critical items quickly, allowing for more reliable inventory management in tense situations. Again, cool little addition. FPS map system, this has been really neat. Implementing a mini-map for the HUD as well as interior map for FPS gameplay, helping players stay oriented in close quarters encounters. Really neat. It's a really cool little addition, and the cool part about it is that if you don't have the maps, so in certain parts of the game they don't have the maps, you just won't see anything there. And while this is the first edition, eventually you'll have to get the maps if you want to see the interior of some areas. You have to kind of download those maps and add them to your database, so you won't get those things. It'll be kind of like a part of the process of improving your own experiences, having to reach out and do that. So this first part, just adding it in, is a nice little part. Visor and lens HUD rework, converting the visor and lens system to building blocks for improved performance and flexibility. Player interaction experience, implementing the updated player interaction experience, a holistic array of complementary features and systems, all related directly to the player. Player status, item status, environment status, as well as interactions with both the game world and the objects within it are covered under these systems. EVA T2, improved EVA controls and animations for smoother traversal in zero-G, introduces limited EVA fuel and encourages the use of zero-G push-pull and the multi-tools tractor beam. I didn't experience the limited EVA fuel, but I have experienced the EVA system, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Star Map rework, implementing the new and improved Star Map with improved visuals and usability, including easier search and trip planning functionality. It is so much better to navigate. Still cluttered. I think it still could use some work, but it is so much better to navigate. And all of these are committed, so these are all coming into 3.23. Master modes, implementing new modes to vehicles to manage their speed, components, and role-specific functions. This release introduces the nav and SCM modes, as well as complete retuning of all ships. In the future, they'll also add the quantum mode for quantum boost mode and other modes like that. New missions, creature hunting. New missions that require players to locate, kill, and retrieve valuable parts of creatures roaming in the environment, which you can get from fauna, Copian. Populating the persistent universe with Copian, an aggressive, agile animal that travels in packs. You'll find them in a variety of areas, from grassy fields to lurking in the darkness of caves. And fauna, Marok. Populating persistent universe with the Marok, a passive flying bird-like creature. Maroks live in flocks and are often found near lush green environments. These are cool. They're not very reactive as of yet, but it's a nice little step towards the right direction in terms of adding more creatures. And, so it's neat to see, though. Then we have the Arena Commander stuff. Arena Commander Engineering Experimental Mode. 3 limited test experimental modes featuring an engineering gameplay, also referred to as Resource Network, showcased at CitizenCon 2953. Help shape the future of engineering gameplay in Star Citizen by testing and giving feedback to the features and balanced showcased in this limited test before it hits the persistent universe. Arena Commander Grav Royale. Embark on high-speed mayhem and thrilling new gameplay mode, Grav Royale. Engage in intense vehicular combat across diverse maps, mastering your grav-led vehicles to outmaneuver foes, and seize victory in this gravity-defying battle arena. Arena Commander Custom Lobbies. Custom lobbies, previously referred to as private matches, makes a return to the Arena Commander. Utilizing the new front-end and lobby systems, custom lobbies allows players to set up and play matches for any game modes on any map at any time with their own rules. It's very limited, but it's pretty cool. And lastly, Arena Commander new flight map, Miner's Lament. Miner's Lament, previously exclusive to racing and part of the Master Mode's tests, now opens its treacherous asteroid landing expanses to all flight modes. Dogfight in the chaotic beauty of Yellow's Ring for an intense, dangerous, close-quarters showdown. Like, now, they have no progress tracker updates because basically they're not going to do anything until they release 1.0. So I would say the progress tracker is officially dead. I would say it's dead until CitizenCon, because they implied heavily that they're not going to release the 1.0 roadmap until CitizenCon. So there's almost no point in following the progress tracker. Long may it live. You served us well, but you're dead now. So we got a lot of stuff that was confirmed. Committed. We know that's coming in 3.23. All of those last bits are coming in, which is great. A lot of new updated features. There are still some things which are not committed, and I will look those up real quickly. Specifically... the release view. Specifically, we've got the distribution centers haven't been committed. We have item banks, which are obviously coming in later. And the dynamic event blockade runner is still not committed, so that's probably going to come in with the rest of the stuff as well. With the cargo rework. Freight elevators, we know, is not coming in. Vehicle modularity, Retaliator, that's coming in 3.23.1. Then the Cortec, Vulcan is coming in. That's not committed yet, but it's already in. Same with water simulation. Volumetric clouds has not yet been committed. committed image upscaling and replication layer. All of those are not fully in there yet. Did we miss something as well? Crosshairs in. It looks like they removed the... I'm looking for it real quickly, but I think they removed the reputation stuff entirely. They snuck out reputation entirely from the... No, it's still... They say it's committed. So it's committed on the roadmap, but the reputation hostility stuff still hasn't been added to the game as far as I know. So there's still a couple of things which haven't been committed, which are in game or may not come in. So, you know, it's looking like a 55% success rate for the initial release, which is about what a lot of people said. I am a little disappointed. I was hoping for a little bit more, but it's, you know, a 2-month wait for most of this stuff. But that's what it is, what it is at this point. But as always, I want to know your thoughts down below. Is this an awful gutting of the roadmap? Or are they like the patch? Is this a you got burned by CIG? Why do you trust them? You know, or is this just like a little minor hiccup? Is this just not a big deal and people are making a mountain out of a molehill? I want to know your thoughts down below. And of course, join us live, twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/theastropublive. If you did enjoy this, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and as always, hit the little bell icon to be notified when we release and when I go live. And like I always say, hope to see you someday in the black.